Hello, welcome to Market Avenue. My name is Edward Nyako. Nissan, one of the giant automobile companies in the world, will be opening its assembly plant in Ghana tomorrow. And these were some of the highlights of President Akufo-Addo, where he went to Parliament to talk about the state of the economy and things that have been done by the government to prop up the economy after it's been hit hard by COVID-19. Among the things he highlighted were the e-levy and the 1D, 1F, and the manufacturing sector. We're going to look at that. But before we continue, we go straight to the best language platform to look at what we have for today. And then we go to the Ghana Stock Exchange to look at the midweek trading. Stock Exchange. Today, at the close of session on the Accra bourse, we saw that the composite index had no change, so it remained at 0 point. The same applies to the financial stocks index, also 0 points. So the year-to-date return is at negative 1.67%, and then the financial stock segment is it is 0.7%. Let's look at the volume of shares that were traded for today. 424,000 shares, 666 exchange hands, but it did not experience any price change in terms of decrease or an increase. And the value of the 424,666 shares stood at, the value stood at 511,391,000.35 Ghana cedis. And the composite index from Monday to date is still at 64 billion Ghana cedis. I'm moving forward to look at the equities that traded today on the Ghana Stock Exchange. We've seen ADB selling 50 shares, and then Cowbank 5,756, EGH 10,388, EGL 29,796, ETI 82,931, Farmilk did 19, GCB 109. 2 GGB, that's Guinness Ghana, and then gold did 121,000, and then MTN sold 281,252. Then we saw Republic Bank doing 13 shares, Standard Chartered Bank 1,330, and 12,899 by SIC. So, in a nutshell, this is how the market performed or fared after close of trading midweek. Going for a short break. When we come back, and we joined in the studio by Eric Cheba for an economist to look at the issue that were raised by the president during the SONA. Hello, welcome back to Market Avenue. We go straight to Parliament to listen to President Kufuor, and then Eric will react to that. We want to listen to him talking about the assembling plant by Nissan that will be inaugurated tomorrow.
Mr. Speaker, quite a number of global vehicle manufacturing companies have set up assembly plants here in our country and started producing vehicles for our market and for the West African market. The well-defined Ghana automotive development policy we outlawed in August 2019 has facilitated this welcome development. Since June 2021, Toyota and Suzuki brands of vehicles are being produced here, commencing with the production of Hilux, pickup, and Swift models. VW, Volkswagen, and Sinotruk, which commenced commercial operations in 2020, have continued to assemble their brands of vehicles and are enjoying significant local patronage. In addition, a new state-of-the-art assembly plant with capacity to assemble 5,000 new vehicles per annum has been established by Nissan in Tema, which is currently producing Nissan and Peugeot brands of vehicles for the Ghanaian and West African markets. I will have the pleasure to commission this new plant in Tema tomorrow. 3 other vehicle manufacturers, namely Kia, Hyundai, and Renault, are also expected to commence commercial production this year.
Hello, welcome back. Eric, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Bishop Nyako.
Great to have you.
Thank you very much.
Good. So the president is talking about the assembling plants being established by these various global giant car companies, Toyota, VW, Nissan, now which will be done tomorrow. Kia, Renault, and then Hyundai will also kickstart their operations at the end of this year. To the young man out there looking for a job, and Ghanaians out there, what does this mean to them?
Yeah, Bishop, I find myself as a Ghanaian now so proud and then so excited to be a Ghanaian as such. Looking at where I'm coming from, school in Europe and worked there for so many times so far the stock exchange level is concerned. I see myself as a privilege, as an emerging economy, as Ghana, or frontier economy as a Ghana. And now these giant auto industries are trooping into the country. It tells us that we are experiencing what you call a buoyancy economy, and then economy has also taken its shape to the paradigm shift. Yeah, if you realize that the moment anytime you see crisis, the only industries that normally comes in quickly or government push them are the auto industries. Because when you have auto, they are the mechanisms that drives the economy faster. When Obama took over, he realized that the only thing that is the General Motors. He gave them a bailout. And if you look at the rate as it helped the American economy, it was unprecedented. Because the moment auto industry comes into your countries, it comes out with a great chain of job. First of all, you talk about a shipment. Now, in West Africa, Ghana have the hub and assembling plant. So it tells you that the auto muggles that they are in Africa, say Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, I mean the neighboring African countries, those that are importing these cars from these giant companies, they are not going there again. They are rather coming into the country. I mean, so that people get job, as you said. There's also going to be a foreign exchange. The economy will also grow. Inflation also comes down. The policy rate also comes down. So having an auto industry in your country, it tells you that your economy has automatically taken its shape. Now let's come to the financial sector. You realize that any time there is an auto industry, we also talk about the insurance also industry. And one of the area in terms of the growth of economy is about insurance. Over here in Africa, that we do not take insurance as a mechanism that drives an economy to grow. So some of us, as we heard the president, talking about this auto industry coming into the Ghana, and if you're looking at since 2018, you realize that we have the Volkswagen, that is one of the biggest auto industry in Europe that is being done by the Germans. And we talk about the Chrysler, you talk about Toyota, and we all know Toyota. That Toyota is one, if you think about the General Motors, the Volkswagen, they are the leading auto industry in the world. So it tells you that for the white man to come and establish such investment into your country, it tells you that you are having a buoyancy economy and your economy is also growing. Now, coming to Kingdom of Day, looking at this pandemic and the fall, the invasion of Ukraine, there are so many investors that are taking out their money outside the country. But yet still, you also see that investors are also tripping into the country. So this one, when the auto industry comes into your country, it's not just one investor coming in. It's a whole nation coming into you. Because Volkswagen, the Bundeskanzler, that is the German, they have almost about 66% of it. The General Motors, they're talking about the Chrysler, the Nissans, the Toyota, the Kia, they are being powered by the government of that state that is coming. So it's the state to state or business to business collaborations that is happening into this country.
So in terms of technology transfer, how significant is these in terms of technology transfer, how significant is these assembly plant, car assembly plant what can be the role that it will play in this direction?
Yeah, Bishop, this is one of the intelligent questions. You should really have it. This is a very intelligent question if you ask. You know, I remember in Italy, there was a guy that completed KNUST first class. He did the mechanical engineering. He came to do masters in Italy in Bologna University. And then he told me that he wants to do part-time as he's doing his masters. I took him to an auto industry, Fiat. But by then, those times, I was working with Fiat as their broker over there in Italy. The guy had first class from KNUST. I took him there. So I told him that this guy, so he wants to come and work. He's a mechanical engineer. They said, well, the Italians, he said, interestingly tua certificato. I said, I'm not interested in your certificate. What I'm interested is to come and do the job. As it says in the Bible, it says, study to show thyself approval. My friend, Bishop, the guy, a car that he's wearing, like say 30 minutes, it took him close to 3 hours. He could not. Why? He lacked the practical. I took 2 people there. There was a man, Ofata, I believe he's listening to us now, watching us now. Ofata, if you write his name there, that he should just watch the name and write, he will write the name and make a mistake. Within 15 minutes, he was able to do it. Why? Because he has experience. He was working at the Swami magazine. 10 years experience in this mechanic. And he was able to do it within 15 minutes. But this guy from tech, for 30 good minutes, 3 hours, he couldn't. So it tells you that it is going to give a lot of practical experience to our brothers and sisters who are into this profession. The mechanical engineering, the auto engineering, any factor that pertains this thing is just a byproduct to us. So I'm so happy. That's why I see myself so blessed and also excited to be a Ghanaian. Because when this auto industry started trooping into the country, the Nigerians, they got angry because they were talking about their size of economy. And the size of the economy of Nigeria is about 6 times of Ghana. And in terms of their population, they are also more than Ghana. So in the market-wise, no any rational businessman or investor will say, I'm coming to Ghana. I mean, I'll go to where the market is. But why did they choose Ghana? It tells you that they were looking at the macroeconomic indicators. They look at the real GDP.
But today, our debt to GDP ratio is above 82%.
That is the problem that Ghanaians are having now. And it is the time that the NPP communication, especially those who speak for them in an area of finance and economy, should come out and educate the masses very well. Now, in GDP, we have three main kinds of GDP. We have what's called the nominal GDP, the real GDP, and the PPP GDP. That is the purchasing power GDP. Now, let's look at the nominal GDP. That is where we talk about the unadjusted inflation or unadjusted employment. Now, let's look at it. Now, you heard the president talking about the industry that the president, as he came for one district, one factory, that he has what?
All right, before you go there, let's pick another soundbite to that in that regard. There's under the one district, one factory, we're told today by the president that a number is an operation.
Yeah.
And so let's pick that soundbite from the president as well.
Manufacturing recorded an average growth of 7% in the first half of 2021, compared to 0.7% in the corresponding period in 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic. Our flagship One District, One Factory initiative is being implemented with business promoters being empowered and supported to establish new factories or to transform existing manufacturing enterprises to contribute significantly to job creation across the country. Mr. Speaker, through the 1D1F initiative, the Made in Ghana label is being stamped on a wide range of products proudly manufactured in Ghana. Out of a total of 278 1D1F projects at various stages of implementation in all the 16 regions, 106 factories are currently operational. 148 are under construction, while 24 projects are at mobilization stage.
All right. So that's 1D1F, and I was asking the question of the 1D1F together with the automobile industry. How are these two giants, two industries or sectors pushing our industrialization agenda?
Yes, every backbone of every economy is industries, and it's a way of creating jobs. And once there is job, you realize that your GDP growth also goes up. You also have your CD will also appreciate to the dollar, almighty dollar, that is also chasing up. Because one of the main factors that the dollar, the CD depreciate is when you exchange your CD to dollar to go and import goods into the country. And you realize that most of the commodities or the goods that we do import from the foreign countries, because of the one district, one factory, they are not being imported again. And therefore, we are saving the city. And it's also talking about job creation. If you're looking at this, 106 are in operation. Now, if you look at it, in every industry, if you are employing like 100 people, you multiply 100 by 106, then you are talking about 1,600 people. And 1,600 people multiplied by 5, it means that you've created a job for about 5,000 people in the home. And these 5,000 people in the home, you're also going to create a chain of job. That is what we know. So in these days, we are creating about 20,000 change of work within 106. This is what economists we use to calculate employment into the country. And all these people are also paying taxes, because as the product is coming out, they tax you both from the distributor, from the wholesale, and also to the retail, and also to the consumer, also at level at large. And all these things are some of the things that also help. And it also, money also comes into the country. Because when there is too much goods into the country, there will also be what? Inflation also goes down. Why? Because there's too much goods in the system, and as there is too much goods in the system, it will be the prices of goods and services will be determined by demand and supply. So they look at all these macroeconomic indicators, irrespective of your debt to GDP. They look at it and say, no, although their debt to GDP is this, but then it does not warrant them to be the most indebted poor country that we are talking about. Now let's look at 2015. Our debt to GDP was 74.45%. But yet we went to Bretton Woods institution. Why? Because our macroeconomic indicators were very low, and we were performing negatively, poorly, and we were being rated by B minus outlook. By now, Ghana is B minus stable. So it tells you that the current situation that we are in is the better situation that NDC was.
But that is your view, in the sense that the ordinary Ghanaian.
No, if you say my view, then it says that it's my opinion.
No, yeah,
but this is a fact, and
actually.
it's a statistics that is there.
Yeah. But what I want to put across is that the Ghanaian out there is looking forward to going to the market and being able to purchase one or two goods at an affordable rate.
Yes.
But we look at inflation now; it's hitting the ordinary Ghanaian very hard.
Oh, yeah, I mean, look at it. Things that is going on around the globe. Inflations normally are being determined by the oil and gas at the global market. Even America, since the last 40 years, they have never experienced, a whooping inflations into their country, like 7.95%. Looking at the UK, stays 2.5%, Ghana 15.75%. It tells you that most of these inflations that is going on, and in Europe, as I'm speaking to you now, you will have the money, all right, but if you want to purchase a goods that you want, you will not get it. Why? Because the production of goods and services has gone down due to what? The invasion of Ukraine and also the COVID-19. By Ghana here, if you have your money in your pocket, any goods that you have, the seller will never tell you that, hey, Eric, don't buy all of them. Should you buy it? When Bishop comes here, he's not going to get the goods to buy. This are the factors, the macroeconomic indicators that we use to determine whether the country is poor or not. So I'm using this platform and an opportunity for the current government at this time now, for their communicators. They should always come out and explain to ordinary Ghanaians that even though we are poor, or even though our debt to GDP has exceeded our threshold that we did, but with the macroeconomic indicators, that's not reflected as it is. So they should come out and explain to ordinary Ghanaians. And I believe that Ghanaians will also listen to
finally the e-levy.
Well, the almighty e-levy, I'm so much happy as it is. I will say that.
Why are you happy? When we tax, you are happy.
Oh, yes. You can never build a nation without a tax. After the Second World War in 1945, it took the white man 40 years before they were able to implement their programs and policy, or that is a social intervention program. Germany started its social intervention programs in 1980. That is 35 years after the Second World War. And what were they doing? They were using no tax. So they used the system, what we call the Thessalonian system of economy. All
right, Eric, this is how the time will permit us for today. I think we have to continue the discussion about the SONA. My name is Edward Nyakon. God willing, we'll come away again tomorrow. We'll be looking at the SONA and the economy. God willing, we'll come here again tomorrow. Shalom.